The ISIS graphic novel Indiegogo is live. Help me publish the first comic book featuring the goddess next door by putting in a pledge today. Recently, many people were shocked when actress Loughlin of Full House and Felicity Huffman of Desperate Housewives were indicted and arrested along with 50 other top executives and CEOs for bribing college officials in order to get their kids into top colleges. Now, most Americans were shocked because they believed our academic system was based on the concept of merit. And because they believed that the academic system was based on the concept of merit, they thought their kids could get into school just on good grades alone. However, that has never been the case for the American academic system, because the American academic system, our colleges and universities, are primarily a business. And because they are a business, they want to be able to get these students from these executive families because, one, these families have a lot of wealth, and that wealth can translate into things like donations, endowments, and grants. And a lot of these schools want to get that money, so they are willing to go out here and put a fix in order to get those students from those top families into their schools, because that means big money later on for them. Because again, when it comes down to academia and the nonprofit business, whenever they bring in a prominent person like Lori Loughlin's daughter or Felicity Huffman's kids, what they're doing is they're ensuring that they're going to be able to get more money out of this person from their alumni association, their grants, and even their endowments once these people get older. So for them, they are looking at getting paid in the long term, even if it means taking a bribe in the short term. So they don't really care about this person not making the grade, because when it comes down to colleges, it's all about getting paid. So a lot of these people out here who are middle class and talking about how things are not fair, well, they have never been fair as related to academia, because academia, again, is a business. Colleges and universities are in business to make money, and what they want to do is make their money either from these student loans and these college grants that they get from federal grant programs like TAP and Pell, in addition to donations from grant makers, corporations, individuals, and endowments, because that's how they keep the lights on at many of these public and private colleges, and this is how they keep their professors paid and tenured. So this business has been going on for years, and a lot of people, they're sitting there blind to it because they are spellbound by the idea of sending their child to a prominent university, and because they're spellbound, they actually believe that their child is going to get in based on merit. And that has never again been the case, because again, schools are businesses, and schools are in the business to make money. So a kid who comes from a celebrity family is going to get preferential treatment, and they're going to be given the opportunity to attend that university before someone else, because again, they want that grant money and that endowment money, and they want that donation from that individual, because that's how these people do get bribed. Usually they say they'll make a donation to the school, wink wink, and then what they will do is then admit the child even though they are not qualified. They will pass that child because they are a part of a family, and that person will get a degree that has no value, because when it comes down to the person, what they value is the connections that person has, and those connections allow the school to stay operational. Now, what really is disturbing about this whole scandal is how clueless many Americans are, because they'll sit there and get upset about these kids in this bribery scandal and them getting in without merit, but won't look at the many athletes who get into many colleges without any sort of academic merit. Because oftentimes, a lot of these athletes who come into these private and public colleges, oftentimes they are recruited just because they are good at dunking a basketball, tossing a football, catching a football, hitting a baseball, pitching a baseball, or even things like track and field or lacrosse. And usually, oftentimes, the college will, admit these individuals on a sports scholarship, and the person, in order to keep their GPA, they will wind up with some professors giving them passes or others having people hired to do the work for them. So this has been going on in our academic institutions ever since their inception. However, most Americans, again, they just want to be blind to it, and they want to think that they actually need good grades to go to any of these schools. Now, what's really impactful about this is that people are just sadly taking a red pill and learning the truth about their colleges, and they're not able to digest what they're hearing regarding it. Again, colleges have never been about academic success or intelligence or any of those things, and your education really has no value to anybody in academia overall. Again, colleges are businesses, and consumer education is a big business, hence why we have all these colleges out here and all these people going to college, because a lot of people believe that the college degree will give them an opportunity at getting a better job, and they believe that they're going to make more money if they go get this college degree. A college degree today is a consumer product. Unfortunately, most people, they're sitting there thinking that they have to get good grades in order to get into school, when again, it's all about who you know and what they will do for you and what you will do for them. And that's how you get into these colleges. So a lot of these people, they want to talk about SATs and all this other. It doesn't matter, because if you know the right people, you're going to get into the school, and those people are going to pass you through because they want to get more money out of you later on in the form of being a part of their alumni association, because a prominent alumni, they can bring in dollars from donors, and those donors allow that school, along with the grant dollars and the student loan money, to be flush with cash. And that's all that matters to today's modern academia, because today's modern academia is not about teaching people to learn new skills, learn different abilities, or learn how to improve the quality of their lives. Because most college professors today, many of them are teaching far left ideas like socialism, and others are teaching crazy ideas like destroying the patriarchy, and they're not teaching towards skills at all. Instead, we have majors like gender studies and women's studies and other idiotic degrees out here. And again, this is because the college degree is now a consumer product, and as a consumer product, it is designed to make money for the school. So I'm not fazed about your Lori Loughlin getting arrested and indicted for trying to bribe to get the school to get her kid in, because that's business as usual for today's colleges. Because when it comes down to today's colleges, again, today's colleges are a business, and they are in the business of making money to keep the lights on, keep these professors paid, and to keep the business going. So it's not about giving your kids a quality education. It's about creating a payday that allows the school to benefit at your children's expense. Now, when it comes down to college, in most cases, again, it's a consumer product. The degree is a consumer product. And outside of a few majors like engineering, business, and medicine, Most of these degrees have next to no value, and you can learn a lot of this stuff online on YouTube or the internet. And if you go to something like a trade school, you will learn a lot more valuable skills that will be able to benefit you in the future. But as it relates to this whole college scandal with Loughlin, Felicity Huffman, and many of these executives, what they were doing was bribing the school to bring their kids in, and the school was happy to take that money because they saw money coming to them in the future, and that's why they would pass over the kids from the poor neighborhoods, because it was all about increasing the wealth of the university. I'm running an Indiegogo to get the first ISIS graphic novel published, and if you could help me with a pledge, we can create and publish the first comic book featuring the Goddess Next Door. And if you'd like to try some of the SJS Direct publications like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the Spinsterella trilogy, you may do so by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to support the ISIS graphic novel Indiegogo and help me publish the first ISIS comic book, you may do so by clicking the link to the Indiegogo in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller.